Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another deck profile. Our first deck profile for set 15. This one's going to be more of a fun one. So this is red, yellow, Goten with the Goten leader from set 15. We'll explain what the red yellow is all about. We haven't really seen much red yellow in the meta since, honestly, Surge format. And again, this is more of a fun deck. I don't really think this is going to be competitive in any way, but really fun to take to locals. And I think this is going to be a deck that Reboot Gohan players might kind of like. I think you'll see that as we get into the profile. Also, shout out to DBS Deck Planet for this new feature on the site for content creators. Basically what I get to do is unveil the deck to you card at a time, so I can kind of give you like that same slideshow feel that I usually give you guys, but now I can just do it right on Deck Planet's site. So again, shout out to them. Love those guys, really awesome to work with them. Anyways, we'll get into the profile. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And if you guys want to help support the channel, there are many ways to do so down in the description. If you want more competitive content, there's usually a lot here on the channel, but you can also check out the Patreon. And if you guys want to buy or pre-order any of the cards you see in today's video to build this deck, use my link to TCG Player. It really does help out a lot. Anyways, we'll get started. We'll talk about the leader first. So I just did a video explaining the leader, but really quick, when you attack on the awakened side, draw a card, then you can awaken, release at 4 or less, or if you have a 3-cost unison in play, and then take life down to 6 and draw 2 cards. So taking life down to 6, I mentioned before in the last video, does kind of hinder your super combos, but we have cards in the deck to fix that. And the awakened side's got a whole lot of text. So attack, draw a card. So he's got an activate main, which also has Spirit Boost 1 that says this card gains plus 10,000 power till the end of a battle or turn, whichever comes first. I still really wonder why they had to word it like that. But anyways, the other effect is if you have a unison with 3 or more markers in play, you can pop a 15k or less. So that's nice to like pick off a blocker or something. And the main crux of the leader is where you give it triple strike with a combo later on, becomes a 40k triple strike. So you want to make sure you clear blockers off the board. And activate main, if your life's 3 or less, you can play 1 red Goku with energy cost of 1 from your drop area, and then negate this skill for the game, which lends to the win condition. So real quick, we'll go over the Goku and the Gohan. So the Goku says when this card's played, draw a card, and then activate main for a red and a yellow. If your leader card's a red Sun Goten card, and you choose this card in one of your unison cards and switch it to rest mode, draw 1. And then if you have a red unison specified cost of 3 or more in play, you may have one of your leader cards get 15,000 power and triple strike until the end of a battle or turn, whichever comes first. So basically, between your leader ability and Goku's ability, you're going to be a 40k triple striker, which is going to be the main win condition of the deck. Going over the Gohan unison. So Gohan Kamehameha Miracle, activate main 2 red. If your leader's a red Goten and your opponent has 2 or more energy, you can play this card with 2 markers on it, so you can get awakened even quicker. +1, activate main, draw a card. -2, choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards to get minus 15,000 power for the turn. But the main reason you want him in play is just so that you can get your leader effect and your Goku effect resolved, so that you can use your leader as your win condition. We're also playing Sin, Shenron, Unison, and Calamity in the deck. So real quick, just +1, -15k, 2 battle cards. Attacking battle cards in active mode's okay, but not really too huge, although it is kind of nice. Like, the main reason I'm playing this card is, again, to clear blockers, because we have a way to deal with negates that we'll see in just a second, but I really just want to keep blockers off the board, and blockers are more prevalent now than they've been in the past. But one more card I want to quickly just say about the deck before we get into the red yellow is Videl Encountering Danger. So since we're playing 3-cost unisons, we're playing the Videl counterplay, and she's better than Yamcha in this type of deck because of her auto. Spirit Boost we don't really care about. Spirit Boost 1 is not too steep of a cost for this deck, and -20k to 2 battle cards, regardless of counter windows and everything like that, is again really good for keeping blockers off the board, but also really good for alleviating pressure that our opponent's going to be sending our way. So that's pretty good. So now we'll get into the red yellow. So the main reason I want to play red yellow is because of Almighty Resistance. You guys might not remember this card, especially if you started playing like set 10 and beyond, but basically this card is a counter. If your leader's red and you choose 1 yellow card in your hand and place it in your drop area, negate the counter attack skill. So obviously we're playing a red leader. Our leader can become a 40k triple strike, so we want to be able to stop our opponent's counter against our leader's swing, right? And again, we have plenty of other effects that I showed you that are going to keep the board clear of blockers. There are actually even more cards in the deck that can remove blockers. We'll see that in just a bit. But yeah, this is the main reason that I wanted to include red yellow. But this is the problem with the deck, and why I think it's much more like fun and casual rather than anything competitive, is because the red yellow cards you have to play alongside of it, unfortunately, honestly, are not really all that good, but we'll give them a quick read. So we have our first red yellow card, Quatilla and Konik, Universe 4 Destroyer and Angel. Not a great card, to be honest. I do kind of like it, actually. It's just a 2-drop offering. You pay 2, you play it, it's 20k body, and then your opponent either crits a life, which is good for you because you're trying to get them down to a certain life total, or you draw 2 cards, which is still good for you because you're drawing 2 cards. So this is one of our cards that we want to charge on turn 1 alongside maybe an extra copy of Almighty Resistance. It's also a pitch target for Almighty Resistance, and the other red yellow card we're playing is just 4 of the Whis Checkland, because we want to have a certain amount of red yellows in the deck so that we can charge them. But at the same time, if we see extra copies of red yellows, we want to just be able to charge them or pitch them to Almighty Resistance. So that's the main reason why we're playing this red yellow lineup. So overall, we have 11 cards, and a 50 card deck should be plenty for getting yourself a red yellow charge on turn 1, and then any subsequent copies of Whis, you can just charge them. Real quick, going to the super combo, Raditz, it's just the best one that you can play, and we do play some cards, like I mentioned before, to help us get to 4 life to turn this on. We have 3 copies of the new Trunks Journey's Beginning, so this is basically just a Sankaba. Attack, take a life, goes to 15k double strike. So decent card for an aggro deck like this. Like if you catch your opponent at 5 life, you'll want to swing with this, try to put them to 3, and then if you have Almighty Resistant live, you're going to be able to go in with your leader, assuming you set up the Goku and the Gohan unison. We also have Intensifying Power Trunks, which is a 1-drop 15k critical. So again, just good for an aggro deck, very cheap, takes life, gets you down to 4, not a bad card at all. And we do have the 1 King Piccolo New Ruler that we're allowed to play. So it's pretty similar to Trunks Journey's Beginning, although it's a free card. Your opponent can't block it. Doesn't take a life, but it's still just super worth playing this deck. It's basically just extra Overwhelms. Speaking of Overwhelm, we are playing 2 copies of Secret Identity Mass Sand, another card that just helps you keep the board clear of blockers. One of the biggest problems for this deck, if the game goes long enough, is going to be SS Rose Goku Black Apocal Schemer, which just summons 4 tokens with blockers. So Secret Identity is going to be able to sweep all those tokens and the Goku Black and maybe some other 1s and 2 drops that they have in play. So that's pretty solid. We also have Testing the Opposition. This is going to be our only negate in the deck because we're playing a pretty aggressive deck, right? So we want to be too defensive, but it's the perfect kind of card to play in this deck because if we're at 5 life, let's just say, it can get us down to 4 for our next turn to go in and be aggressive. Obviously, the blocker is nice if we need to stop 2 attacks, but Testing the Opposition also gives our blocker combo power, so that's pretty solid. Just a perfect card for this deck. And then we have 4 Golden Grave Sand Instincts. So what's really nice about this card in this deck is that it just got reprinted, so it's super, super cheap. Where in the past, this card's been anywhere north of like $80 a copy. With the Anniversary Box reprint, I think it's about like $5 a copy for the non-foil reprint, if I'm not mistaken. Possibly, hopefully even cheaper over time. But yeah, the card's really good, and it's just another yellow pitch for all Mighty Resistance. And in a pinch, like turn 2, if you don't have the right setup, you can just combo it, draw 2 cards, start seeing more cards in your deck. I think it's just the best like generic yellow card you can play in a deck like this. Like maybe you could play the 1-drop Krillin that attacks and you know, takes life and gains crit, but I think you want to keep most of that stuff red. You don't really want to be charging yellow cards because of your Raditz super combo. But moving along, playing 3 Broly Crown Retribution in a deck like this, you're going to want to be able to pick out your opponent's like Floodgate type cards like Topo Righteous Aid, like Majin Buu Unadulterated Malice, like Frieza Robotic Riposte, stuff like that. Broly Crown is just an absolutely insane card in the current format, and it's probably going to be just as insane next format. And then finally for Secret Rare, we're playing Gohanks. You can play any Secret Rare here. It could be Gohank, could be Kai, could be Heroine's Lineage, could be a lot of things. I'm going with Gohanks because of the same theme of just keeping the board clear of blockers. And a lot of your effects, like your leader and the Goku 1-drop, they say that if you have a unison with specified cost of 3 or more. So let's just say you missed Gohan early in the game, or Gohan got cleared, and you want to play Gohanks and still do the same effect, you're able to do that. So that's pretty good. Again, really fun deck. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And just my thoughts on the first time using Deck Planet for this deck profile view. Definitely some things that I will give them feedback on that I noticed. This is my first time using this for a deck profile. But I don't know. Let me know what you think about this little deck profile view here. I definitely want to see if they can add a feature where I can like click on a card. Because if I click on a card, it just goes like, you know, reverse to front. So I want to see if there's a way we can also add a click function that allows me to, you know, bring the card up to a big image so I can show you guys the text. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
All right, now that you guys finished watching that video, They should have never banned fucking Child's Wish. They shouldn't. Super Shadow was the best deck in the game. Super Shadow was the best!